Hey guys, it's Brandy here. Just wanted to pop in and give a little overview of our cruising history. Since we've done 7 cruises so far, all with Carnival, just kind of do an overview of which cruise ships we've been on and the years that we were on them. So sit tight, I'll give you a little overview. Our first cruise was on the Carnival Breeze in 2013. This was a family cruise that my husband's family wanted to have us join in. Considering we've never done a cruise before, we've always done land-based vacations, mainly to the beach. We just had a little apprehension of wondering if we're going to get bored on the ship, or what is there to do and eat, and just thinking because we're going to be on a ship for 6 days, what are you going to do? But we decided to bite the bullet. We'll try it. We're adventurous. We'll give it a shot. And needless to say, it was all worth in the end, obviously, 7 cruises later. We boarded the Carnival Breeze out of Miami June 30th, 2013, and it was a 6-day, and they went to Key West, Grand Turk, and Nassau. Our apprehension when we first got there, it was a little bit overwhelming, especially being newbies. The terminal in Miami, we didn't learn about Faster Than Fun at that time. It was just so crowded. It felt like you were in a cattle call. But once we finally got on the ship, found our room and trying to eat and get situated, and I had a couple issues with luggage. I actually missed sail away. My first sail away I missed because I didn't get my luggage till after sail away. So I was at guest services wondering where the heck's my luggage. It's my first cruise and I'm not gonna have any clothes. I did have some with my carry-on, don't get me wrong, but it was just like almost happened. It was like, ah! So once the dust settled and it finally hit the both of us on the night on the lead-out deck, we were all having a cocktail by the Red Frog Pub, and that's when it sunk in. Everything was just so relaxed. There was the movie playing in the background because it was a dive-in movie, and we got it. It was just so relaxed, so serene, and ended up being a very good trip. Great weather for most of it. Had a little rain in our Key West excursion. Well, Key West stop. But other than that, it was wonderful cruising weather. Then our next cruise in 2014, we went on the Carnival Splendor. It was an 8-day out of New York City. We're from Pennsylvania, so New York City's not that far away for us. So it was like maybe a 2.5 hour drive for us. Very convenient. We went to, on this trip, well, it would have been Grand Turk, but we went to Port Canaveral instead. This was the time Hurricane Bertha was coming up the coast, and due to that, we couldn't go to Grand Turk, so we opted to go to Port Canaveral. And unfortunately, I felt the wrath of Bertha. I am very prone to motion sickness. I can't even watch anything like fast moving on a screen, or can't even sit in the backseat of the car without taking medicine. But that morning, the first sea day morning, the ship was a little bit rocky, moving back and forth. And this one forgot to take her medicine. And due to that, she was out for the rest of the day. I was between our cabin, and it was recommended by the staff on the ship to get me outside just so I get fresh air, and I was a mess. And they were trying to get me green apples because that's supposed to be a tip. If you have an upset stomach or anything like that, the tip is to eat green apples. But for me, for a person who, when you get sick, you don't want to think about eating or even smell anything, I wasn't having it. But by the time we got to our dinner, I was forced to eat. Well, it was a good thing. And once I started eating dinner, I started to calm down and feel a lot better. And then I was ready to go the rest of the evening and the rest of the trip. But like I said, we went to Port Canaveral. We got to hang out at Cocoa Beach there. Never got to do that, so that was pretty cool. Then we went to Half Moon Cay, Carnival's private island. So We heard people rave about Half Moon Cay, so how beautiful it is, and it's just amazing. They're right. It's a very clean, pristine, clear water beach. And when you walk on the sand, it feels like you're walking on like baking flour. It's so soft. Then we went to Nassau and just hung out at Balmoral Beach for the day. So it was a nice trip overall. Same thing, not real bad weather, just a passing shower here and there. And then the big one, our third cruise in 2015, we actually got married on the Carnival Pride in July 5th to be exact. We actually got to go on the Pride twice. We had the option, since we were doing a wedding on the ship, we were able to tour the ship and see the venues and the reception area and the ceremony areas, and even got to eat a guy's burger, but I don't think we were supposed to. But then when it came time in July, well, actually it was about a couple weeks before July, you're not guaranteed your venue for your wedding and your reception area until 2 weeks prior, because we were one of 3 weddings that day. And we wanted 2 areas. The actual chapel, which there's actually a chapel on the Spirit class ships. For the reception that we wanted was the Ivory Piano Bar, which is the piano bar on any of the ships, but this one, it's not like the 88 Keys or the Piano Bar 88. It's called the Ivory Piano Bar. So we were on pins and needles, and I finally got the email from Carnival saying that we got those 2 venues, so I was so thankful. And anybody who's either been considering a Carnival wedding or kind of up in the air about it, don't worry about it. It almost feels like you're not doing enough, because Carnival does take the reins. You just tell them what you want, from food-wise, cake-wise, and they run with it. They do a lot of the work, and they did a phenomenal job. Had a great photographer on the ship, and I'll link some of the pictures in the video of our photographer's work. His name is August, so if you happen to see him on the ship, if he's still even with Carnival, he's great. That trip we had about 30 people come for the whole ceremony reception, but 15 people opted to come with us on the cruise. So we had a big group. We went to Grand Turk, Half Moon Cay, and Freeport. So that was another wonderful trip. We've actually lucked out with our cruises with the weather, except for Bertha and on the Splendor. Otherwise, our past few cruises have been really good with the weather, so knock on wood. Then in 2016, we did a little 4-day out of New York on the Carnival Sunshine to St. John's Bay, Canada. Never done a 4-day, and 4 days are my opinion, are too short experiencing a 4-day, but it was cool to actually just go to St. John's Bay, Canada, and experience the town. We did the Fundy Trail. We actually rented a car and did the whole trail system. It runs along the coastline, and came back. Hang out in the town a little bit. It was like a little fishing town, so it was pretty cool. The cobblestone streets, and it was so cute. We'd like to go back there. We might be thinking about doing a New England, Canada cruise at some point. So it was just so different. It's not your typical Caribbean cruise, which I love the Caribbean, don't get me wrong, but it's nice to switch it up once in a while too. And then September 2016, we did 2 cruises in 2016. We went back on the Carnival Pride, the one that we got married on, and did a 2.5 stay in Bermuda, which Bermuda is gorgeous. Even 2.5 days wasn't enough for what we wanted to do. We did Hartley's Helmet Dive, which I would highly recommend. That is actually right off the dockyard, where the boat is placed. I'll clear that out. It's actually at the dockyard when you pull into port. You can't book it through Carnival. You have to book it directly through Hartley's Helmet Dive. But the the guy who runs that is very knowledgeable. He actually tells you underwater with your helmets, you're about 10 to 12 feet deep. He tells you with a little graph or chart, tells you what each item is in the ocean, like coral, fish life, and he was really good. So if you're in that area and you have the time, I would highly recommend it. And then we did the infamous Horseshoe Bay Beach to see the pink sand, and then we took a ride to Gibbs Lighthouse because I'm a lighthouse nut, and then checked out the city of Hamilton for a little bit. So if we do go back to Bermuda, which I hope someday we will, we're going to do the other half of the island because that island is pretty big, and trying to get around does take some time. So hopefully we get. Then in 2017, we went on the Carnival Dream out of New Orleans. Never been to New Orleans before, so this was a first for our family. We went the day before, checked out the city. I know people are probably gonna think I'm nuts, but I personally really didn't care for New Orleans. I don't know if it was just the time that we went down there. We did go down on the 4th of July weekend, and there were festivals going on, and it was just crazy and busy, and we were all hot and tired, and I think that's what happened, to be honest. But we did enjoy the French Quarter. That was a nice part of town, and of course had a beignet at Cafe Du Monde because when in Rome, or when in New Orleans. But on the Dream, we ended up going to Jamaica, Montego Bay. And with the help with the recommendation, I watched the video from EECC Travels. So hey guys, if you're watching, hi! Their tip on Sunscapes Splash Resort, we actually rented a, we booked a day pass through resort4day.com. It wasn't bad. It was $80, I think, per person. And it was unlimited food and drinks, and you could use the water activity. There was like a little water slide park there. And it was just perfect, and it happened to be our anniversary when we went, so we got to chill and relax, and just, it felt special for our anniversary. And then we went to Grand Cayman, where we did Stingray City, which if you're ever in Grand Cayman, that is a must. It really was like a once-in-a-lifetime feeling just being with these wild stingrays, and not to be scared. You think about the whole Steve Irwin stingray thing, they're totally tame. They really are. Unless you don't like flail around or really disturb them, they're practically harmless. Then we went to Cozumel, where we just did a relax. We just toured the port and ate at Senior Fox and came back. Then our very last cruise that we did the Carnival Sunshine in October out of Norfolk, Virginia. Now, like I said in the earlier video, well, earlier part of the video, we did land-based vacations like to the beach, and where we normally went was Virginia Beach area. So I'm very familiar with the area since I've been going there 20 plus years down there. In Norfolk's in the Hampton Roads area, so it's not that far from there, and I've been there a few times. Mainly because we wanted to go out of Norfolk, I almost said New York, Norfolk, is because my father was in the Navy and he was stationed in Norfolk, and where the port is right by the naval base. So we got to experience, when we were sailing away, to check out the naval base and the fleet that's there, which was pretty cool. And then this one was just a Bahamas run. It was Nassau, which we just did beach day at Nassau and Junkanoo Beach, and Freeport, which we just kind of toured the little shops in the area and came back on. So pretty lax. Since we did so much running around on the Dream, we just figured, this would be a good time just to relax. Now for future, we got one coming up, I believe in 92 days to be exact, on the Carnival Horizon. It's a 4-day. I know I said 4 days are too short, but 4 days on the Carnival Horizon, and that's a Bermuda stay. It's not an overnight stay, but it's just, I believe it's like almost like an 8 to 5 type short stay, which I think we're just gonna check out the dockyard, whatever we didn't get to check out before, and come back on the ship. We actually have with this one, it's a big family group that we're going on, and we actually all have Havana area rooms. If you're not familiar what a Havana room is, well, the Horizon's the newest ship out there. It's on its second voyage right now. Her and the Vista have these Havana area rooms where they're on the 5th floor, the 5th level, and in the back of the ship, there's a beautiful, like a pool area, jacuzzis, little lounge area, kind of like a Serenity type area, but it's only for those people staying in the Havana area up to 7 p.m. Otherwise, after 7 p.m., anybody could really go back there. But we wanted to experience it. It's coming to New York. We figured we'd try it out. But then in September, we're doing a ship the ship, something we have never done, out of Tampa. We're doing the Carnival Paradise, and that's going to Cozumel and Grand Cayman. And then we're gonna hop off, stay overnight in Tampa, and come back into Tampa to the port to go on the Carnival Miracle, which is Cozumel, Grand Cayman, and Belize and Mahogany Bay. And then we already have planned into 2019 the Carnival Triumph out of New York, and that is going to I believe Grand Turk, San Juan, and Amber Cove. And then the last one we got planned is the Carnival Pride, the good old Pride, in I believe it's the 1st, I think September 1st actually, or 2nd. And that is going to its normal run, which is Grand Turk, Half Moon Cay, and Freeport. So that's pretty much it, and we got a lot planned. Hopefully we get some maybe 2020 planned here soon, and once they release more dates for 2020 and get that all booked. If you have any questions on any of the places that I mentioned, or just questions on any of the ships I've mentioned, leave a comment below. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and hopefully you'll subscribe. And if there's any ideas for future videos or different ideas, leave a comment below and I will get something together. Well, until next time, cruise on and have fun. Have a great day, guys. Bye.